Whenever conflict occurs, showing remorse can be the catalyst to soften the blow. Charlie Simpson with the Arkansas Relationship Counseling Center is here to demonstrate how to use remorse to connect during a conflict. All right, this is part two.
Part two.
All right, we'll see how good I am at this.
And if you try to figure out what we're talking about,
Yes.
we did part one. You can go online and pull that one up. But showing remorse, once again, is one of the most important components of being able to repair during a conflict. And oftentimes when couples get into a conflict, they stay on the surface and they very rarely go to the deep portions of where the remorse should go to. And we're going to do some demonstrations, and we're going to see if you can go to the deep part of the hurt, and then see if you can show remorse for the deeper part of the hurt.
Okay, all right.
Here we go.
What do we have? All right.
All right, first one. I just don't think you love me.
Well, sounds like a personal problem to me. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what you say. That's not what you should say.
But once again, that is the natural part of what happens with us during these types of conflicts.
You put up that guard.
And you put up the guard, you go into that defensiveness, and you go into protective mode. And this is where a lot of couples start to spiral and go in very hurtful directions. So let's see if you can go underneath
I think you should say, I'm sorry, why do you feel that way?
Good.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm learning.
Learn from part one.
I know.
It is all about just curiosity, being able to go, okay, this doesn't really sound right. I really want to say this, but let me just see what's really going on. And curiosity is one of the best tools to utilize whenever you're trying to bring understanding to that one. So good job.
Okay. All right. Don't go with my first answer.
Don't go with the first one, please don't. All right, number two. You know what? I'm just going to be quiet and let you talk.
Right answer. No, Blake. I'm just, that's, again, not what you're supposed to say. No, don't do that. Tell me what you're feeling. Is that a good response?
I'm going to make it a little harder. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're always right.
No, I want to hear what you think.
Thank you. Now, I feel like what I have to say is important now, because when it sounds like before that, what I had to say wasn't important to you. And so usually people shut down and they just go to a place of just saying, you know what, I realize that how I feel has never been important. So this is the exact same feeling that I'm feeling in this moment. So then what happens is we just say, you know what, go ahead. And we shut down and we just go to a place where we just feel unimportant.
Yeah, that's never good.
Never good.
Never good.
Good job, man.
Okay. All right. See, I studied.
All right, last one. Seems like you'd rather hang out with everybody else except me.
You're just not fun to be around. No, I'm playing. Again, what you should not say.
But what is and you know what? That always pops up in our head. And if we can calm that part down and we can say, okay, let's not go in that direction. Let's see if we can, then you can tend to go into, all right, so yeah, you just rather hang out with everybody else except me.
Why do you feel that way again?
Well, it's just always just that feeling when you just grow up and you just always been alone.
Well, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I don't mean that. I would like to hang out with you.
Thank you. That brings some comfort.
Doesn't look like it.
But you know, what often happens is when you go to the deeper part of the hurt and you're able to communicate in that place, it usually kind of brings a shock to the partner, because they're like, wait a minute, you might really do want to be with me.
Like you're actually listening.
Really? You're really listening? You really love me? And when they can start to build that trust that we can go to those places and be able to show remorse, communicate in those vulnerable places, then you start to see that it becomes natural over time. So good job today. Look at you.
I'm trying.
Go and look at part one and you'll see why I'm praising her.
It's improvement, right?
It's improvement.
Don't say what comes to your mind first.
Exactly.
That's not, or we'll be visiting you for sure.
Exactly. Or if it comes to your mind, you got to have an individual conversation with that thought, put it to the side, and see if I can move more into curiosity to see what's happening with my partner.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for all that good advice there.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back.